Hello everyone, I'm Dan Elzer, your co-host of Zap TV. I want to welcome you to this month's show. As always, I want to make sure you know how to communicate with us, so let's get started with how the system works. If you're new to the show, what I want you to do is get your phone out, open up your text app, and Buddy's going to bring up a number here that you can use to be able to communicate with me directly on your phone through the text app. But the other thing I want to make sure that we're doing is that you have your laptop or your desktop or your mobile app open and signed into Zap. If you're not signed in, then you can't follow along with Wayne and do the keystrokes and really get used to utilizing the system. Last month, I challenged everybody to get up every morning for 5 days and sign into Zap and do it with a cup of coffee in your hand or your bowl of cereal and start to make that a habit of using the Zap platform in the morning, sorting your scores, and making sure that you know what's happening in your group of people. The phone number for you to put into your text is 321-300-7759. Buddy will get that up for you in a moment. There it is, 321-300-7759. And once you get that locked in, that's how you'll be able to ask questions, give comment. We'll do our best to get as many questions as possible, but there's a lot of people out there. So at this time, I want to welcome my co-host, Wayne Weaver, to the show.
How you doing?
Good to see you, buddy. It's been a quick 3 weeks since the last show.
Yeah, we had a quick turnaround here, but super excited about today's show.
Yes, so. We got some really good stuff.
Absolutely.
It's going to be awesome.
Absolutely.
So, first segment, the expert update segment, we kind of have a little bit of a surprise there too.
Yeah, going to change it up a little bit and listen. We actually, our Zap Labs teams, who we've met several folks from that team in California. They introduced to us quarterly a great video, short video on what they're doing in their words to again help us out with this product and what might be coming. So
yeah, it's a really nice video. We're going to go ahead and roll it for you guys. It's the Q4 product roadmap update. Let's take a look.
Hey everyone, the last couple of months have been an exciting time for Zap. Thanks to your feedback, we've introduced a bunch of new features to help you better serve your customers. Here's a quick summary of what we've done and a look at what's coming next.
Zap users have frequently requested the need to customize their websites. With the content customization features that are planned to launch in Q4 and Q1, our goal is to make sure we give agents, admins, and companies the ability to customize their landing pages, like the buyer homepage, the seller homepage, and pages that tell their story to potential home buyers and sellers. The blog functionality was recently launched for Zap users and allows them to create custom content on their website. We think this can be a business asset for all companies and agents in the real estate space and allows them to position themselves as the local experts in the areas they serve.
We recently introduced the bulk import functionality. This lets you import a bunch of your contacts into Zap all in one go. All you have to do is get all of your contacts in a CSV file, upload it to Zap, map the fields from your CSV into our Zap fields, and now you have a bunch of new contacts in Zap.
Last quarter, we released auto-assigned follow-up plans. This automatically assigns a follow-up plan to your contacts based on their status. So you can set a plan for all your new leads or all your close contacts that will get automatically assigned to those contacts whenever their status changes.
So we launched bulk email a while back. This was a feature all of you told us that you really wanted and really needed to have in Zap. The bulk email lets you email a ton of your clients all in one go, so you can use it to send out newsletters or just a way to boost your productivity when you've noticed someone's been online a lot.
So last quarter, we spent a lot of time optimizing our emails to be mobile friendly. That meant we got to redesign everything, the look and feel of logos and text and even new picture layouts. This quarter, we'd like to focus more on giving agents the ability to control those emails with things like CCing themselves, as well as adding additional client emails.
We want to bring you more customizable searches. This includes custom input for things like price, lot size, and square footage. It also includes more localized search options like a filter for style. And finally, it includes shareable search URLs, so you can take the URL itself and have it include all the search parameters that you've used in your search.
The MLS data team is working a lot on trying to get listings and photos faster. We want to reduce the amount of time that it takes for your listings to show up on the site. We also want to improve some of the insights that you guys have in terms of making your listings more searchable and easier for your clients to find.
Zap aims to be a full end-to-end real estate platform, but we're not going to build everything. As such, in Q4, we have started to integrate with vendors such as Office 365, DocuSign, and Gmail, and we're going to add a lot more in the coming quarters.
On the lead management side, we just added the ability for admins to manage leads in Zap. So now admins can assign, reassign leads, single leads, bulk leads, to one contact, to multiple contacts, all within Zap. And coming soon, the admin dashboard will give admins a bird's eye view of all the leads in their company. We're also working on building the traffic report, which would give agents and brokers some insight into the traffic that they receive to their websites.
We hope you're as excited about all these upcoming features as we are. Thanks for all your feedback that helps keep making Zap better.
That was some pretty nice stuff.
Yeah, it's exciting. We've talked over and over about, you know, what that team's doing for us, and that's just a video kind of showing some of that stuff and giving you a little bit of teasers for what's coming. So
Yeah, the bulk update we went over, the email, all that stuff.
Yes.
So that's awesome.
Good stuff coming.
Well, okay, so let's go ahead and get into this month's theme. And you might have saw it on the commercials we put out. But this month we're going to talk about incorporating Zap as part of your value proposition to get more listings. So basically, we're going to find how can we use the power of the Zap platform to help us drive more listings. And pretty much, Zap is looked at by most people as a buyer incubation type of tool.
Yes, and it's very good at that.
And it's excellent at that. But
Correct.
we can use it to do the same with sellers.
Yes.
So we're going to flip it on its head kind of and show you how you can take that same power and put it to work to start incubating and finding sellers in your marketplace and be the first one to be able to get to them to get that listing. So let's jump right into our day in the life of an agent. And you've got your laptop. What's the first thing we need to be thinking about when we're looking at the seller side?
Yeah, I mean, it really starts with contacts. I mean, you know, just having contacts in the system. You know, again, we've talked about this over and over, but you know, if the person, if I'm not, you know, if they're not in my forefront in my database, they can so easily be, you know, just lost in my busy day.
Yep. So when we talk about contacts for sellers, we've got our past buyers definitely that need to be
Correct.
People in our sphere or circle of influence
Yes.
need to be in there. But how about areas that I want to dominate? Because if we're going to talk about listings, we want to dominate in an area. We want to become that go-to expert. So also focusing in on an area to find those acquaintances and contacts there too.
Yes, hot neighborhoods, hot markets, hot price ranges, things like that.
So adding a contact, we've done it before, but let's do a quick
Yes.
look at
we'll
the
go
contact.
live, and I'll just show you guys who actually briefly saw it in the video. But basically, I'm going to just scroll over it. At the very top, you see that plus ad. So when I click that plus ad and just scroll down to new contact, we just have two ways to add a contact. So my individual contacts, you know, I meet at an open house, you know, I meet in the store. You know, anytime I meet someone new, you know, I can add them individually. But as the video showed, we can also import contacts, which is bringing in, you know, your entire, you know, Google contact list, your MLS contact list, you know, Yahoo, Gmail, anywhere. We can bring those all at once. So that's as simple as it is that, you know, how simple it is to bring in some folks to get started.
Okay, so there's our contacts. We got to get them into the system. I wanted to address one thing that when I'm out working with agents, they say, well, I don't really have a good base of contacts yet. So here's an idea, buddy. Bring it back to me. An idea that you can do. Every state requires that your companies maintain records on past transactions.
Correct.
And I always share with newer agents, if you need some past customers in your database, why not go to your company and ask if you can get the clients that have been orphaned Those clients that did business with an agent that's no longer in the business or have left the company, they're an orphan client, but past customers are our best people to work with.
Yes, they're gold.
So that's another way. If you don't have a lot of people, ask your leadership team, can you start, if Dan has left the company, can you start to incubate Dan's past leads? They're no longer with the organization and they're being left alone. So after we do contacts, this is right up your alley. We got to figure out how do we tag things and filter to be able to start to manage those potential sellers.
Yes, so we actually have the ability to grab any contact in my database and tag them. Obviously I can tag them a seller, but I can also actually tag them, a seller that's a FSBO, a seller that's, a potential seller in this neighborhood. Anything like that to be able to, better filter them so I can grab them at any point. And on a certain day, I want to prospect my potential sellers or my sellers, be able to work them, just filter them down and grab them all at once.
So can you show us how do we tag, and then how do we do that special tag?
Yes,
that
yes.
tag?
So we'll go live, and you'll notice that if I just, at any point, if I click my, whatever numbers next to my contacts, in this platform, there are approximately 1,300 contacts in my database. So, basically having contacts in your database is the first step, but now I actually need to know what they're doing, what they might be doing, and who they are. So if I just click on any contact, I'm going to click on Thomas here as an example. You're going to see the basic profile shows up, and you're going to see just under the basic profile the tags option. And with this, there are some default ones, agent lead or broker lead, a buyer, seller, but now I can actually, label them further and just simply call this, contact a FSBO. So, and I will be able to, at any point filter down and go, hey, who are all my seller FSBOs? And that's the idea behind it. So, and I can tag anything I want there. It can be, any tag I want to help me better understand who this person is.
So if I met you at an event, I could tag you for that event.
Correct.
If I met you because you're part of my sphere or circle of influence, I can tag you that way.
Yes.
If you're on my geographical farm, I can tag you that way.
Yes.
And now that helps me, as you said, when we filter it down, that helps me in my messaging then if I want to send different messages to them.
Correct. Yes. So knowing that we can tag these folks, we're thinking these are all sellers or potential sellers. So we're going to do FSBO and all these. So now I just want to know at what point can I just go grab those folks and just see what their Zap scores are doing, or send them a separate email to sort of intrigue them, to just have them remember me.
Okay, so a real elementary question here. We're talking that we can do this now. How do you filter?
Yes.
Where is the activity to filter?
So once I've really gone through my database and done that, if I go back to my number, the contact number. So right now I have 1,300 people here that I can't just scroll down through and go, who are my sellers? I want to be able to just find them, quick. Next to this long white search bar, you're going to see this filters button. And if I hit the filters, this is a way that I can break down my entire list and give me who just I want right now. And obviously I can start with, sellers under, client type. And then you're going to see my custom tags right in the middle in the lower one. And those are all my custom tags. Anything that I've called someone is there.
So the FSBO one would be in there?
Yep. So I could search for my FSBO. And this is going to, just bring up any one of the FSBOs, anybody that I've labeled as a FSBO comes up.
Bingo.
So now in one shot, I've actually just taken, all of my potential sellers and brought them up in one list. And again, I can do so many things with them. I can bulk email, or I can just scroll down through and analyze their Zap scores without mixing them in with everybody else.
Awesome. Okay, so
real quick,
yep.
You can actually save that search. So you'll see that because I did a search, you're going to see at the top it says save this search. So the next time I go down, I'm going to go, potential sellers in my list of saved searches, and I don't even have to, refilter it again. So that's just a bonus that they've added for us.
Fabulous. So now we have our clients again. Our contacts. Contacts being the most important thing, getting people in the system, and that's again to alleviate your brain from having to remember everything. You're starting to use this as more of a digital assistant for yourself. Then we got to get people tagged right, because we can't follow can't follow up, can't follow them, can't check them
Yes.
unless we can start to tag them. So,
Yes.
so that's an exercise that should be done every time you put somebody in.
Correct, correct. Do it the best you can, and don't be afraid to go back and tweak it as you get to know them a little bit more.
Okay, so now that that's done, the next thing we got to look at then is the follow-up plans and that ZAP score. Now again, folks, we're talking about sellers here. A seller could live in a house, I mean, for forever, sellers were living in houses 5 to 7 years, 5 to 7 years. And then the NAR's survey, when we went through the recession, you saw it start to climb from 5, 7 to 10 to 11 to 12 years. It wasn't that people were staying in the house longer, it's that they didn't feel they could move.
Yeah.
Well, that slowly is coming back to that equilibrium of 5 to 7, but there's a lot of sellers that still don't know that they've got their equity back. And it's happening every day, so tracking these people can put you at the front end of their curiosity.
Yes.
When we use these follow-up plans. So talk about how would a follow-up plan work for a seller?
So I'll show you where, we've talked about these prior, but now we're talking about them sort of in a different light. We want to talk about from the seller's point. So when I go live and on my dashboard, and if I just click, oh, buddy, I'm going to go live. I'm going to just go, go into my Manage button, and then as soon as you see the Manage button, you see the follow-up plans. And that's an entire library of existing follow-up plans, that have been created by our Zap Lab folks, the brands, or me myself. So they're all in one place. So if I just simply click on that follow-up plan library, you're going to see a host of them that come up. And basically, for me, I'm either going to scroll down through them and analyze them and go, well, I need one to work for what I'm looking for now. But I can also, in the upper right-hand corner, just add my own. So I can actually create my own. So that's where we find them, and we just got to analyze which is best. If I use one that's existing, or maybe if I need to, sort of work on one that for myself.
Okay, so as we create these follow-up plans, we want you guys to be aware that the plans are customizable to you, your abilities, to the way you want to follow through on things. It doesn't have to be the set plan. You can customize it to what you want it to be.
Correct.
So it follows your skill levels, your ability, what you're going to actually do. Because we don't want you to be paralyzed and go, I can't do this. So these are things that can be adjusted, can be customized for you. I want to back you up a second. Question came in and said, as you continue to add new FSBOs, do you have to re-pull that search from the saved search so it knows it, or does the saved search always go do it for you?
The saved search will always pull the newest list, but we have to go in and do the new search. We have to find the FSBO, or just make sure we're always, call them. We can't call, sometimes it might happen accidentally. We can't forget to add the FSBO, but once we add the FSBO, they will be in that next.
So that saved search does a new search every time?
Just does a new search each time, but
okay.
So constantly adding your folks is good.
I hope that helps you there. Now, when we have the follow-ups to the seller, you and I talked a lot about this off camera. In those follow-up, say emails, we should have them tagged with our website and our app, correct?
Correct. Yes. I mean, that's big. Always pushing them back to us.
Because that's important for, if I'm a seller and I start to engage you because you're following up with me through your Zap platform, and I decide to download your app, what does that do? What happens then?
Well, they're going to download an app and as soon as they download it, they're going to be looking for houses on CaldwellBanker.com, but it's going to be completely branded to me as the agent.
How do you know that they did that?
Well, actually, the ZAP score will change.
Bingo.
We'll actually get a message in their history that says that they downloaded your app.
So when you're emailing, when you put together these follow-up plans and you're sending emails and you're working with other tools, and they take action on them, the ZAP score changes. So just like we would watch a buyer's ZAP score change, we can watch a seller's ZAP score change.
Yes.
And as that rises, that says, hey, they're probably ready to do something.
Yes.
Okay, so we've got our ZAP, our follow-up plans, and we've got our ZAP score that we're going to monitor to show us the change in behaviors of a seller. Then after that, we get into insights, your favorite thing. We've got local and property insights.
Now,
folks,
passionate about them.
Yes, very passionate about them. We've talked about these over and over again, and they are the most important thing when it comes to really utilizing, we talked about SEO last month, utilizing the SEO and making things happen. So share with me, where would I, if I'm working for a seller, I'm trying to find sellers, where would I want to go do my insights, both property and local?
Well, I want to, do my insights in the communities that I want to work. So I can do a local insight in a neighborhood or community that I want to get listings in. And then I need to do property insights. I need to see houses in the price ranges, in the neighborhoods, in the zip codes, in the school districts that I'm looking for those potential listings. And that's how I will be found, as an expert in that local market.
So, makes total sense. So I'm going to put my active time into a market that I want to dominate, so I get the exposure from the insight, the exposure from the local insight. Now,
Correct.
I had called your attention to, when you were going through this with me, National Association of Realtors, in their buyer-seller survey that they put out every year, they ask these questions of sellers and buyers. And one of the things that they looked at was, what does a seller look for in the agent they hire? And there was 3 things. They're looking for someone who's an expert in the market, somebody who is like a friend, they're approachable, and someone who has a great reputation. So if I'm doing insights, I'm going to pretty much fulfill, if I do them properly, I'm going to fulfill those 3 things.
Yes. Yeah, we're hearing, over and over stories from agents that are, getting listings that they may not have gotten prior, whether they're a new agent or just, just taking on the property insights. But it's working where folks are finding them, because of they immediately just see them as local experts.
Right, so once you do that insight and someone's out searching, they come across you, and you had this beautiful explanation of either something in the community, like you said, a fall festival or something, or an actual property that's in the price point and in the area that you want to dominate with listings. I want to back you up a second. We had a question come in. Can you add a video to your follow-up plan emails?
We could add a link to a video, but we can't actually embed the video, which we understand that they are working on that. So, obviously videos are becoming more and more important in almost everything we do. So we can add a link, but not that actual
So if I've
video.
uploaded to my YouTube channel, and I have a really cool video that I want to go out to the people that I've sorted, I could embed that link,
Yes.
but I can't put the video in.
Yeah, you can't. It'd be nice, but
Yeah.
the link would be there, so at least they could watch it.
I want to back you up again. Someone asked this, and we should have done it. How do I get my links on my follow-up
Yeah.
emails?
Well, okay.
We were going to
So-
do that, and sorry, we went past that.
Yep. No. So let me show you if I'm going to go live for a second, buddy, and just show you the URLs for your website and app. So I went to my website, and this is the back page of your website, and you will see just under your picture, under your main picture, you're going to see on the left-hand side a website URL, on the right side the mobile app URL. Those are the back pieces. Those are the back URLs that no matter where you share those or forward, one click, they will either get to your personal website or go right to the App Store to download your personally branded mobile app. So both of those are right there.
So I hit copy,
Yes.
and then where do I go to, how do I get that into my
So if we want to paste, if we want to create that link, and by the way, you can do this anywhere, anywhere, Facebook, your Gmail account, or in Zap. So when I copy, my website URL, if I simply go back to, I'm actually going to click my name in the upper right-hand corner and go to account settings, and that's where my email signature is in Zap. And soon as the page pops up, I see it. So that's my email signature. I can adjust it, and you can see that we can simply add, if I just simply add, obviously you might add some more verbiage, but just to do it kind of quicker, if I add verbiage that says my website, I could say view my website or, check my website out. If I just highlight that and then just come up, I'm going to hit this little paperclip link. I'm going to actually paste, just paste my website URL in there, and I'm done. And that's as simple as I can do that in Gmail. I can do that anywhere to be able to get someone to come to me, and that's what I want them to do.
So now once I get my signature set up with my download for my app and my website, giving it the words that I want to use, the verbiage I want to use, every time I do an email in a follow-up plan, it's going to draw from that.
Yep, it'll draw from it and throw that in there for someone to always go to it.
Cool. Okay, so we'll get into more property insights and local insights in a second when
Correct.
we get to the mobile app.
Correct.
But in the end, we've got watched homes. Now this is a pretty powerful opportunity here.
Absolutely. We actually have the ability to grab this is very simple, a potential seller. Anybody we've talked about, past clients are potential sellers. My Sphere is a potential seller, any FSBO, anybody I knock on the door. We actually have a tool in Zap that we can send them a weekly email with what's going on in the market around their house. And we pull directly from the MLS, but they can get an email that says, hey, these 2 houses were listed and this one sold, this is what it sold for.
So how do I go about doing that?
Very simple, yep. So I'm gonna go live and just show you. If I just simply pull up any one of my contacts.
Going live, buddy.
So I'm gonna pull up Connie. And Connie is a potential seller. So she's called the buyer, but I just pull up the first person. So Connie is a potential seller. And if I hit this more button, and we've all done this to set up a listing alert, for this potential person, but if I sign in as her, what I'm gonna do right now, as soon as it comes up, where I would normally start the 3-bedroom, 2-bath up to a price range, in that long bar, I'm just gonna type Connie's address. So if I start typing Connie's address, and I click on it, so this is where Connie lives, in very, very clearly, even though they can find some information on this property, you'll see in the upper right-hand corner, off market. We are not advertising, houses that aren't for sale. But if I scroll down just below the picture that's there, on the right-hand side of this dark blue one right here, it says Get Home Value Updates. If I click that button, I can, I'm done, and now Connie will get a weekly email from me on anything that's happening in the market around her house.
So she
branded to me, my face, my, everything, my name, everything is going to be branded to me at that point.
So they'll receive MLS data on that?
Yes, right from the MLS. Here are 2 new listings in your neighborhood, and here is a listing that sold. Here are all the pictures, and we know that if I'm driving down the street in my neighborhood and there's a for sale sign, the first thing I'm going to do is as a homeowner, I'm going to go, I'm going to go online and check that out. I want to see what their inside looks like. So now you can actually tell any potential seller, hey, just wait for, when you get my email, I'm going to give you all that information. So it's pretty cool.
Cool. So that's Watched Homes.
Yes.
Here was a question, and the answer is yes. This is being recorded. Somebody said, will we have access to this? Yes, you will. This is recorded, so the same website, cb.zapbroadcast.com, will have this exact show for the next period of time until we do the next show, so you'll be able to come back and view it as many times as you'd like. Okay, so there was the 5 things. We've got get our contacts in, because we want to start tracking sellers. We want to get tags on them, and so we can filter. We want to be able to get follow-up plans working for them, and then start doing our property and local insights to get up, to become that expert in the market we want to dominate. And then when we do meet people, we got a beautiful way, a great icebreaker with Watched Homes. Would you be interested in getting information on properties around you?
Yes.
So now I want to move to Zap on the Move. We talk about the insights all the time. So how do we use the mobile app then to help support this tracking and incubation of sellers?
Yes. So if I go, I'm going to go live on my phone, and you're going to see that, obviously we've talked about this. This is literally just, my entire database. Everything that I have, every body that I have, any property in the MLS, kind of at my fingertips. So what I'm going to do is either I can leave a local insight, which I'm talking about the community, something that's happening in the community. I'm trying to show everybody that I'm a professional real estate agent, but I'm also very involved with my community. So if I very simply from this home dashboard, same by the way, this is the same login if you have not logged in as your Zap platform, first name dot last name at caldwellbanker.com, and same password. But I will just simply, at the very bottom, you're going to see a menu, and one of them says plus quick add. And if I hit that plus quick add, you're going to see this. I could add a new contact, even from my phone. But the second one, new local insight. So if I simply click on that, I can just type about something that's happening in the community and save it. And the minute I save this, it's going to get posted to my personal website and the company site. So that very simply will tell really the world in Google, anybody that's Googling something, in that neighborhood, I have the ability to show up. I'm actually showing that I'm a local professional. So that's a local insight. So if I simply back that up and hit this plus quick add again, and the other one I'm going to show you is the one right below it says new showing. If I hit new showing, this is me basically telling my platform, hey, I was in this property, which, by the way, if you don't know, I can do this with any listing in the MLS as long as it's an active listing. Any listing in the MLS, I can go in, preview it, broker open, public open, or show it, and I can just simply come to this page and give some of my thoughts on the property. And when I save this one, it gets posted to my personal site. And the big thing with this one is I actually get posted to this listing page for the property I just said I was in. At the national level at CaldwellBanker.com, which is pretty crazy. Still in my mind, it's crazy.
So that's how we can, if we want to start dominating in a market and we don't have exposure there yet, by just going, previewing some homes, making some insights, do some local insights, I start to become visible in that marketplace.
Absolutely.
That is incredible. Last question on what we just went through was, will the email that in the follow-up plans come to the agent also, or would they just have to know that that's happening?
Yeah, we can check that a number of ways. We can check it in the history. We are close to adding a CC for a lot of things we do in here, so if you wanted to, you could get a CC copy of it soon. So that's an option, whether it's a listing alert, a watched home, or part of a follow-up plan. But in reality, we know that it's being sent out, depending on or the system's prompting us to do one touch point, as part of the follow-up plan. So we're kind of always aware of them as we go.
Cool. Well, Wayne, thank you.
Absolutely.
We have a pretty special guest.
Yeah. I'm gonna bow out here and I will talk to you guys soon.
You got it, buddy. Hey, we got a special guest for you today, folks. Anna Visioli, the Vice President of Operations from Coldwell Banker Real Estate, is here. And she has some information that's really going to add on to what we just talked about in us being able to go out and get those listings. They are so precious right now that being able to use the power of Zap to incubate these sellers, watching that Zap score. If they take your app or they download your website, you're going to know, why would a seller want that? Getting watched homes in their hands. You're going to know, why is a seller curious about that? It can only be that they're starting to thinking about selling their home. That puts you in the position to be the first person reaching out to them and asking for that appointment. So please help me welcome Anna to our show. How you doing?
I'm great, thank you so much.
Great to see you. So now, you've just watched us to know the show.
Have.
And we talked off camera that you guys are doing some amazing things for the members of Coldwell Banker.
We certainly are.
So how does it start? What starts the process from your perspective that will help them find more listings?
Well, absolutely. So we're seeing inventory at historic lows all over the country. And obviously a seller lead is so critical. It's like gold for our agents. And from a national perspective, we're driving advertising on both TV and online to ColdwellBanker.com. And when they come to ColdwellBanker.com, we have a great feature on the website, which is a CBX call to action.
Buddy, can we go full screen with that? Thank you. There you go. There it is.
So
right
yeah,
there.
if you look at the very bottom of the screen, you'll notice that we're promoting CBX to potential sellers, and we're encouraging them to find out what the value of their home is. Now, when they click on that link, they'll fill in their address information, and we will send that lead to you. I mean, that is a seller lead, and that's like gold for our agents with this low inventory time that we're in. So definitely you want to watch for those because they're going to come into Zap and you want to act on them.
Okay, so that will come to me as a CBX lead.
Correct.
And it's going to be asking for valuation.
Yep.
So I always say, being the technique guy over here, we got to be careful, guys. A lot of times when I talk with all of you agents, you'll say the lead was no good. Understand, what you just drove for them is a huge opportunity. Why do I care about the value of my property? Now, odds are many of them will not be ready to list that day.
They're just tire kickers. They're just kind of checking out the market.
But you have put them in front of that person. So I want you to think about what we just talked about here with Zap. And if we turn back around and say, okay, Anna requested, I went out to see her. She's not ready. She wanted the property values. But what could I use from what you learned today to start her into Zap? Watched homes.
Yep.
Hey, would you like to get a continuation of what's going on in the neighborhood? She says yes. I get her information. I get her email address. you become a contact, I can start a follow-up plan with you.
Yeah, you can incubate them through Zap, and I think that's a fantastic way to use the system. A little bit of a marriage of CBX and the Zap platform.
Exactly. So if you take some time, just a couple suggestions, I would have 2 or 3 emails. Think about just asking her, are you receiving the information? Do you have any questions? Since it is MLS data, you could maybe send an email saying, hey, I know that some of the codes can be confusing. Could I help you out with any of that? These are touches you could do over a month to another month, and even be able to go out there, if you're comfortable with it, to go out, knock on the door, and maybe offer assistance there too. Because if they're getting that information and you're watching the score, if it starts to rise, you definitely don't want to lose that out to a competitor. So let's say we get to that point, that we've been incubating them, their score is rising, we get that appointment. And now we want to win that listing. How can you help them do that?
Well, our CBX tool is a fantastic way to get in the door and really win that listing. It's available not only on the tablet, but now it's available on the website, and you can get there through CB Exchange. So again, the CBX tool allows you to not only price the listing using RPR data, but also tells you exactly where the buyer may come from, gives you great demographic data, and now it even has a listing presentation embedded into it. You heard that correctly. So you can use your traditional listing presentation, but you can also run a fantastic presentation of CBX. And we're seeing agents with really fantastic results when they walk in that door with that fantastic CBX presentation. So definitely a win-win. I would encourage you that have the opportunity to go into that listing to really leverage CBX as your advantage.
So what we're doing then is we're kind of giving them a seamless approach here. You're driving people, thousands of
sellers each and every month.
And they click on that. That lead comes out. We cannot ignore the lead. We got to deliver on what they've asked for. I'm going to bring you valuation because that's what you asked for. I'm not expecting you to list. But when I get that face-to-face, that puts me in that position to start asking good questions. We get them on watched homes, get a setup going. Another touch that you could add in your seller follow-up touches. Remember, we want to dominate in a market. So if you have a listing in that area, hold it open. Have an open house. I'm going to go knock on Anna's door and say, hey, Anna, by the way, around the corner, we're holding the Smith's house open. I just want to let you know in case you want to see what they've done to their home. And sellers want that. Around the corner from my house, a house just went for sale. They had an open house this weekend. My wife and I went through it. We're not buying it, but we were curious. What did they do to the home? So that's another touch I could have with Anna that then leads into, which is an amazing tool, the CBX presentation tool. And if you're not using it, you need to learn it and use it because it's so powerful and it will put you in a position differentiated over your competition.
And it really gives you an unfair advantage, which we love for our agents.
Unfair advantages
which we really love.
are awesome. So anything else you want to share with them before we get into our content?
No, just again, log into CBX, again, tablet-based, and also go to CB Exchange. It's in the Springboard. Go ahead, test it out if you haven't already. It'll definitely get you the listing more often than not.
Awesome. So we do have a November contest.
We do. Like you needed another reason to use Zap, right?
Exactly. So why don't you share with them? Let's see. They can win something here.
Yes, they can. So not only do we have agent level prizes, we have office level prizes. So agents, every time you log in November 13th to December 12th, you're entered into a lottery to win a Lowe's gift card. Who couldn't use one of those?
Yeah.
But it gets even better because offices have the opportunity to win as well. So for every office, each and every week, who has the highest percentage of agents with 11 or more logins, they'll get a smart home staging kit. So our fantastic smart home staging kits that have a Nest, kind of Lutron lighting, all sorts of cool stuff. The office with the highest number of top logins will get one of these staging kits. So definitely log in, encourage your office mates to log in because you can get a prize not only for yourself, but also for your office.
So your staging system there is not just move furniture around.
Oh, no.
This is big deal
stuff. It's high-tech stuff.
Wow,
yeah,
that is awesome.
So I mean, we used to stage homes. It used to be, refresh your carpet and paint your walls a neutral color. But we're getting much more high tech in that, and obviously we found through our research that smart home staging, making your home smart home enabled, really allows you to distinguish that property from the competition. And what's nice about our smart home staging kit, at a little over $1,000, you have a full smart home system for not a ton of money. And we really want want you to learn about it, become more knowledgeable about smart homes. So what better way to learn than get one in your office and use it for yourself?
Exactly. So the agent has to sign in.
Agent has to sign in.
And then the company has to have 11 or more sign-ins with the most number of agents doing that.
With the highest percent of agents for that office.
Okay.
So that's not a lottery. That's our top offices are going to get those kits. So.
Exactly. So here's what I want to do. Last month, folks, I challenged you. I challenged you to wake up, sign into Zap, get that cup of coffee, go ahead and sort your scores, find out what's going on. If you get into that habit of every morning, we have statistics that show agents that sign in more than 10 times a month, they're double-digit increase in productivity. But now on top of that,
you can
smart
home staging kit,
exactly.
Right?
You can win some stuff. Awesome. Well, folks, make sure you do that. Now, what we want to talk about is moving forward to save the date for our next Zap TV show, which is going to be in January, on January 24th, 12 p.m. Eastern. Now, we're skipping December as far as Zap TV goes, but we want to tell you one more thing. Make sure that you stay tuned, because in December, there's going to be a special training event on December 6th. Now, I don't have all the details yet on that. Wayne actually will be working on those details. We'll be getting them out to you, so you'll be aware. It's going to be a special training event which will take you into a special part of the Zap platform that we've heard a lot of feedback on. So you won't want to miss that. So stay tuned for that. Pay attention to the information coming from us. And Anna, I want to thank you, man. It was a pleasure having you on the show.
It's been a lot of fun. Thank you.
And I hope you folks take full advantage of all the cool things. Now, there was one question that came in, and I think you can probably answer this. It says, it says there's multiple CB offices in the area, so how would a brokerage be selected?
That's a great question. It really depends on where the lead comes from. If it's from the home page, it's given to one of the offices in proximity of that property. However, there's also CBX promos on the search results page. So if they're actually on your website, it'll go to directly to the company of the website they're on. So it really depends on where they're hitting that promotion. But again, if it's from the home page, one of the offices in the area, but if they're on your site, you'll always get that lead.
Okay, so if it comes to their site, it's going to them. If it's a generic lead in, it's going to go to
We do a round robin.
Do a round robin on. Okay. Well, I hope that helps you guys out. I think we got to most of the questions. And again, make sure you sign in every morning. Take advantage of winning some of that free stuff, and also increase your productivity. Get your seller plans put together and start adding those people into your Zap. Use Zap to incubate those sellers. Let's go get those listings. I hope you enjoyed the show. We'll see you in January. Have a good one.